Welcome, y'all. Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
How is I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm beautiful.
I love it. I love that you've been having some very beautiful days.
Yes.
Your inspiration inspires me to be beautiful as well.
Listen, okay. It's like I'm trying to put everybody on.
That's
I'm,
so funny, Coach,
I'm
because
letting you be
it's so
beautiful by
true.
myself. It's no fun.
Look, you want to share. You want to spread the
Yes.
wealth around. Absolutely. Absolutely,
Man,
Coach. That's the right thing to do right there. That's the right
that
thing.
ain't that the spirit. That's what we supposed. He said share freely, and it's like I'm trying to share freely.
You're trying to be fruitful and multiply.
Well, I'm trying to
Hello.
be fruitful and multiply the people. We got to
You're doing
multiply.
the right thing, Coach. You're doing the right thing. Hello, we've got Amisha. Hey, Miss Faye. Hey, Amisha. Go ahead. You do like we do, y'all. Tag a friend, tell a friend, let them know the Coach's Corner is on live right now on YouTube, Facebook. But we prefer you guys to come, subscribe, like, and share the YouTube channel. And that's what we like for you guys to join us at. It just keeps us in one place, makes it easy on everybody else. But thank you guys for joining. Go ahead, tag a friend, tell a friend. Y'all, tonight it's amazing. I'm excited because we have a guest. And you're probably going, y'all didn't promote a guest? Well, yes, we did. Because the guest is Coach Hadassah. And I'm super excited because look, I'm like a little kid. I'm super excited because this is the first time that you on our platform share your wisdom with us. Like, we know you coach us every day or every Tuesday. Well, no, I take it back every day. Because if you're doing a live, if you're at any type of gathering event, you're coaching us. I don't know if you really know that, but you're coaching us, you're mentoring us.
That's what they told me.
Right. So look, that's the fact. So the thing about it is now we get to allow you to just be free and we get to soak up all of this wisdom. How you doing, Taraya? Um, we get to soak up all of your wisdom. And y'all, tonight, Coach is going to share with us her experience, how she balances and prioritizes faith, her self-care, her family, and finances. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is how you can balance your relationships over your money, or bring both of them together in unity where there's no conflict, there's no confrontation, and you make it better for yourself and your relationships. And Coach has been, y'all, I just got to give kudos, praise Coach, because she has been doing the work. What do I mean by that? Coach has been trading. Coach has been building. Coach has been beautiful. She has been going to class, and the results have been favorable. And I'm just super excited because I can sit here and just really watch. And you know how it always is like, well, let me see what you're doing. Let me see what you're doing. Well, we got someone in the family, in the community, who's just average, but has taken her average and made it above average, has taken her ordinary, and she's been extraordinary. So again, y'all go ahead, tag a friend, tell a friend that we are on because you do not want to miss tonight. Coach, how are you feeling about being our special guest tonight?
Look, it's kind of like I'm really a guest on our show.
Right, yes, that's exactly what it is. That's
You know,
exactly what it is.
like how is that?
Like, does
But
that even work?
here's the thing about it though. The good thing is you're next, okay? You you are next.
No, I would prefer that this is all about you. But I would
Look,
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 is to keep it with you, and that's it.
we gonna have Coach Cotton Gloves as a guest because
Oh Lord.
she is dynamic. Okay, she's dynamic. We was what was the class? We did a 6 week course with Coach. When I tell you, listen, Coach had me digging deep. Okay, she had us. She had us digging deep. I said, shoot, I thought I was digging deep already.
Bro,
She
I
had
thought I was there. I thought
other places. I was like, dang, I didn't even know this was there. Oh,
Coach, look, I learned this. You would think that we've been friends for years. That's how I feel, Coach. I feel like you've been in my
Yeah,
life 20 years, and it hasn't been a year. Like it hasn't even been a year yet.
right.
That's
That's
how you know when that divine connection and relationship is ordained because I feel like we've been tethered for many years
right, right. And you know, the
together,
funny
and
thing
it
is
hasn't even
too.
been a year.
And look, my sister is named Michelle. My sister is named Michelle. So
What?
it, yeah, and so it doesn't even, it's like, yeah, that's about right. It's about right that we're like this. So,
Right.
but
Well, I'm just super excited, Coach, because we was talking earlier today,
yeah,
and we was preparing for the show, so it was like this was so funny. Like, and I know this happens to us all the time. But literally, was like laying in bed, like we should talk about relationships over money. And I'm like, I'm gonna text Coach, see what her thoughts is on the subject. And then when you text me back and said what you said, and I was like, yo, I was literally thinking this is the night with this specific topic that we need to interview Coach and let her share her story. And it was just like on one accord in agreement. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I don't even know if I'm getting surprised anymore, but it's like, I knew it. I knew she was going to be vibing. I knew it was going to be the same type of thinking. And I'm just so glad that it worked out where we can let you share on this topic. And so, hey, Ebony, how you, girl? So, look, if y'all have questions as we're going to interview Coach, but not really. We know I like to let Coach go. But if you have questions, y'all make sure y'all drop them in the chat so I can, get your questions asked. If y'all want to go, y'all know Coach is a metaphysician. Y'all, it took her to explain it to me because I didn't even know what a metaphysician was. I heard about it, but I didn't know what they did, who they served. I didn't know what was
you don't know what they did, who they
I didn't know what
served,
was going on. I was like, what y'all doing? Like,
where they went to
what is
school
this stuff?
at,
Right. What do y'all do?
what type
Can
of
you
degree do
do
they
surgery
have.
on me? And look, yes, she can. Coach has done surgery on me, y'all. She done surgery on my heart. She done surgery on my emotions. She done surgery on my brain. So yes, a metaphysician is that, but they just go a little bit deeper. They're not physical physicians like that, but they go deeper. But let me tell you something about that title and that position of a metaphysician. The supernatural part or the emotional part actually helps the physical. So if you're experiencing things in your body and you don't know why, Coach is the person that you go to, like, when I don't know what's going on. I got shoulder pains, I got a backache, and she's gonna tell you, girl, you stressed out about money, or you stressed out about this, and she's gonna break it down, and then she's gonna bring in the Lord and support it with the scripture. So while we run into these natural doctors, giving them all our money, we need to be running to somebody like Coach Hadassah and give her the money so we can be healed from the inside out.
Right, from the energetic body, because
Hello.
that's really where it is, that
Right, right.
surgery on the soul. And so yeah, yeah, but that's the thing about it. That's the work that, you're going to hear me say Joshua, but I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, right? That's the work that Joshua did, and that's what he taught his disciples. And that's
Right.
why he was able to, they healed. And people are wondering, like, well, how did they do what they did? Because the understanding was that this is a soul energetic issue.
Right.
And
Right.
we address that, then the physical part will heal, because the physical manifestation of the sickness, illness, disease, debilitating conditions, that
Mm-hmm.
was just a manifestation of what was going on in the soul, in the energetic body.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
So
that's
y'all saw how she
what
broke that down.
metaphysics is.
And I was like, what? I'm like, Coach, this is too deep. You're gonna have to really take some time and walk me through this. And she did. Like literally, it took us about 6 months. But I got it. I got it, y'all, and I'm super excited. So let's get into it, Coach. We ain't gonna waste no time. Okay, so again, y'all, if y'all got questions for Coach, y'all throw it in the chat. I'll see it. And Coach will see it too. And we'll try to get your questions asked. And I want you guys to just have some dialogue with us. So, Coach, we're talking about having priorities and how the priorities weigh in with relationships versus money. Now, finances is a huge thing when it comes to family dynamics, when it comes to your self-care, when it comes to anything you got to do in life. But why would you put your relationships even over the money part? Or how does the relationships work with the finances?
Well, I mean, because everything is relational, relationships. So that means that, what's relational or what we relate to, we're in the same boat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Relationship. We're on a ship. We're going somewhere.
Absolutely.
Think about how do ships get to where they go? It's on water. Um, and so, oh, here I go. Please follow me. Please follow me. Because I'm gonna give a lot of symbolisms. So
Okay.
water is think of water as emotions, right? So we're in the same boat, we're in the same, thing on the same team or whatever together, and we're navigating through emotions.
Okay.
We have something in common, we're relatable. Again, we're in the same boat, we're on the same team, and we're navigating emotions, or energy in motion together, because that's what emotions are, energy in motion.
Right.
We have a wide range of emotions from the negative to the positive, from the lower frequency emotions to the higher frequency emotions. We experience the wide range of them. And so when we were experiencing those lower frequency emotions, that's just letting us know that we're off balance and we need to get back to that place of balance, or on those higher frequency emotions where we feel better.
Right.
So uh so when we are in our relationships, we have to really think about that. We have to think about, not only what we're bringing energetically, but the other people or the other person, um as well. What energy are they bringing? we
Right.
we have to um pay attention to it. We have to not, you look, just recently on Facebook, I didn't even know it was a thing going on, but at one point I just started seeing all these posts with these red flags on them. I'm like, okay, what is going on now?
Right.
And so I guess it's this trend that's going on about, like, like what's a red flag or something like that. And so I'm saying all of that to say that a lot of times we feel things, and that's just energy that we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And again, energy in motion. We feel things and then we second guess it, or it's like, oh no, that's not what I'm feeling, or whatever. And
Right.
we negate it, we overlook it. And those are like the red flags that we don't want to run around collecting them, um,
Right.
because that makes all of the difference in our relationships, no matter what type or what kind of relationship it is, whether it's professional, professional business, acquaintance, friends, family, romantic. We 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 don't need to, well, I'll just say we need to pay attention. And
Right.
because the relationship, again, ship, we're going somewhere, we're navigating. We're navigating through uncharted waters. We're navigating through storms, even. How are we going to navigate that together?
Right.
And so, if we get on a wrong ship, with people that's just like,
Right. The
um,
worst mistake of your life sometimes.
yeah, we be messed up. What, shipwreck? Who getting thrown off the boat? I mean, just is the Titanic, is it finna go down?
In
Like,
sync.
right, is it finna sink? You on the boat, you trying to get everything together, and then the people that's on the boat putting holes in the boat. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just all of that. So um when we think about it in that vein, then we'll be more careful, we'll be more wise, we'll be more selective in what we're entering into.
Right.
um I remember even uh I mean, years ago, and I prayed a prayer. I had been in business, and I mean, just all of that, business
Mm-hmm.
relationships. And we always say, we want to be like-minded people, like-minded. We want to be around like-minded people. We want to be in business with like-minded people. We
Right.
want to uh it was something else that I was about to say. But okay, yeah, we are and we can be. And then what I found was that, like, yeah, I was with like-minded people. We had the same mind to, that was the purpose for us being in the business or opportunity or whatever that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
We all wanted something more or something better. Uh, but in like spirited though, we weren't all trying to get it the same way. We
Right.
were in the same place in the same opportunity, but some people had different means of how they went about doing what they wanted to do as far as their business. A lot of people didn't move with
Right.
integrity, and I'm big on that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I mean, look, I ain't talking about nobody and how they do what they do or get down how they get down. you know,
Right.
Whatever works for them. But I know that I didn't want to move how these people were moving, although we were like-minded. And at that point, that's when light bulb came on, and I'm like, not. I'm gonna make sure when I say like-minded, not only like-minded, but like-spirited, like
Right.
character. And from that point, I prayed for my tribe, because here's the thing about it, and especially in business, this is business and marriage, because that's what marriage is business. It's a
Right.
family business, right? And
Absolutely.
you have to be in business with people that you trust,
That part.
right? You have to trust.
Absolutely.
And why? You're dealing with money. Money is energy. Money is energy manifested on a material level. That's
Mm-hmm.
why when we put our focus into something, and especially if it's something that really is wrapped up, where we have where our purpose and our gift and our talent, and then the right tribe combines, we soar. And it seemed like it's a flood
Mm-hmm.
of money that started rolling in, because our energy has been released in a way to where we're not, you know, holding ourselves back or constrained in any type of way. And relationships, I
Right.
mean, it's the relationship that helps with that, because you don't feel like you have to hold yourself back or be constrained or limited in some type of way because of the people that you're around, and you're wondering if you can trust them or not, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean, think about it, people. And I don't mean to be getting like way off or anywhere, but like I said, like marriage is a business.
Right.
um and then business like we're in, that's business, and we're dealing with money. What's the number one cause of divorce? It's money.
Money. Finances. Absolutely.
It's finances. Well, why? Because folks energy all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's showing by what's happening with the money. You could tell what's going on with the energy if you look at the money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And so you we really do have to, number one, like, check ourselves. How are we relating? What type of relationship do we have with ourselves? Number one. Like,
Mm.
that's the first relationship to get together. So then when we get that relationship in order, with ourselves, in alignment with our creator, with our purpose and all of that, then we can start opening up to see and pray, like, hey, where my tribe? I'm praying for my tribe. I need my tribe. They say your vibe attracts your tribe. Yeah, get your vibe, energy, frequency, whatever together and pray for it. And so then when it comes, whether it's presented to you, you present it to it, y'all present it to each other or whatever, you
Mm.
know exactly what it is. You can feel it, you can see it, you know what you've prayed for. And so it doesn't come as some type of, like, oh, it's like, no, I know exactly what this is because I
Right.
I prayed for that. I wrote it down. Whatever. So yeah, relationships is very, very important in relation to money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, coach. And for even breaking it down, because I want to go back to something you said earlier. You was talking about the word relationships, and that's your connection to something or somebody, and it means you're actually going somewhere. You're navigating through something, or it's a process. And I don't even think that we really break down the whole origin of what a relationship is. So if we don't even know exactly what we mean by when we want to be in relationship with people, whether it's a business relationship, a personal relationship, a marriage between a husband and a wife, we don't even know, because what is the end goal? Like, there has to be an expectation in relationship. There has to be something that we set out to do. We are going to do something together. We're navigating through this process together. And I just like and appreciate the way you broke that down, because we don't even think about that. We just say, oh, I want to be in a relationship, or I want to do business, or I want to make money, or and all these things. And it's like, but who are you connecting yourself to in relationship that's going to catapult you to that place? You know what I'm saying? Like your tribe. And if your vibe is off, and you said something so profound, you were like, the first relationship we got to get right is the one with ourselves. Like, how can we even begin to go out and attach ourselves to anybody else, thinking that it's going to be successful or fruitful when we ain't even got it right here? Like, this relationship, this identity, this esteem is lackluster. And so we got to check that first, like you told us, before we can even go join ourselves to somebody else or something else. It could be you want to go buy a new car, you want to get a home, or you want to start a business. But how can you even now put your efforts into that when you're still lacking? There's something missing here. You're not even whole or ready to start that process. And if that's a vibe you're giving off, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract the wrong type of people. You're going to attract the wrong type of business and relationships. And I
Yeah.
just appreciate you just really breaking that down and explaining it to us, because we're trying to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to realize that. And you can't do it alone, but you don't want to do it with the wrong person and be set back. So you got to be very mindful, conscious, and aware of who you're doing this with, who you are in relationship with. Again, whether it's business, you got to know who you trading from, who you learning from, because that's going to play a part into your overall destiny, your tribe, and where you end up from point A to point B or C or D. And so you just eloquently broke that down for us. And so just knowing, you giving us that definition of relationship and knowing how we have to use that to get to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
Speak a little bit on that self-care part. Like, what goes into your process when you are building relationships? But what are you doing for Coach Hadassah? What are you doing daily that's going to make sure that what you're attracting is what you are pursuing, and it's the right thing in that season for you? I just want to hear about it. I don't know if y'all had that question. I got that question.
Well, the first thing that I do, okay, so this is a day for me.
Mm.
So I don't know if we all know, but look, I want you to check your Bibles, right? Your law book. That's really what it is. It's a law book, and then books of stories that was written about just what was happening in various times throughout
Mm.
dispensations and ages that repeats itself in history.
Right.
And so if we pick it up and we look, and we're like, oh, they was dealing with the same stuff we dealing with. And they just, sharing some stories and things to where we could see, like, okay, and help us navigate this thing instead of us running around like, ooh, this life don't come with a manual. Yes, it
Right.
do. You just don't read it, but you need to, right? Because when I
Right.
start studying it, My life got a bit look, it got easy and hard at the same time.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you how about all that. But anyway, um, so the beginning of the okay, it says that the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening and the morning were the second day. The evening
Mm-hmm.
and the morning were the third day. The evening is what starts the day,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So like right now, this is it's almost 6:30 central, just 7:30 or close to 7:30 Eastern and so forth and so on. So this is really another day. Hey Barack.
I'm sorry, Coach. It wouldn't have been right if he didn't
All
come
right, that's
in
all.
and drink water on your interview day.
Barack had to get some attention.
He wants to see your shine, Coach. That's what it is. He want to take your
Right.
shot.
Oh, that's too funny. So so and here's the thing about that. Look, even the industry that we're in, if you the market closes at a certain time and then it opens back up.
Right.
If you look at the chart of it open, it's the next day's date on there
Mm-hmm.
because it's the next day, right?
That.
So of course I start my evening or my day with well now I started on my charts. You know,
Right. Thanks.
I really am handling business at the beginning of the day according to what the day is. And so I end that way too. Um and prayer, definitely prayer, meditation, like that is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then even when I'm working, I find myself falling asleep about between 9 and 10 o'clock. I might be sitting right here in this chair, not like this, right? And then wake up like, oh shoot, okay, go get in the bed, right? But I only need 4 hours of sleep. My body needs
Mm-hmm.
4 hours of sleep. So then if I go to sleep at 9, I'm up by 1. If I go to sleep at 10, I'm up by 2 a.m.
Wow.
And again, prayer, meditation, and if a scripture come to me, I may read that entire chapter, and I have to start my day like that. Um, and then I get on my charts again, right?
Mm.
Get on my
Awesome.
get on my charts again. That's just a habit and a discipline. And then do what I need to do for the rest of the day. Now currently, because I've developed this habit, and like Coach said, when we started this, the start of the show, Coach's Corner, I've done my work early.
Right.
And so I'm going to share. And look, this may be the last time that I actually post my profits.
Okay.
Might be the last time that I post my profits because it's been some interesting things to occur. So so I'm going to share that, but in a few minutes or whatever. But I I I I profit all that I need to profit before the sun even rises,
Nice. Nice.
so that the rest of my day, it really is helping, because that is what I always wanted to do since I was a child.
Wow. Okay.
I wanted to help people. I just didn't know what I wanted to help them with, but I wanted to help people. And I found myself, I want to help women feel better by looking better. I want
Nice.
to help yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be helpful. And so things happen, whatever life, but I'm not going to get into all of that right now. But I'm saying that to say that I got money out the way first.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the day, like before the sun even rose, money is out the way.
Nice.
So anything that I'm doing after that, it's really from a place of this is just who I am and this is what I do. I share good things. I
Right.
share things that I believe would be beneficial to others, especially if I've seen it help me. And and you know, I just want to see people win and succeed.
Right.
That's how spend the rest of my day. Um, the weather is changing now, so I have to find a new way to do my exercises and stuff like that. Uh, because it's about to be fall, and I was talking to Coach Cotton about this the other day. I signed up for the gym membership again, and I'm sitting up here like I know doggone well that I am not gonna get up and go to the gym. Not because I'm lazy or anything like that. It's just that I am so tedious kind of when it comes to time to where I
Right.
feel like it's the time and money because
Mm.
I'm like, okay, like when it was summertime, I got up and I did my walk. I walked for 70 minutes every day,
That's awesome.
right? 70 minutes every day. I was on the trail. So that's not here nor there about, but when I look at time and money, I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm gonna have to put on these clothes, get in my car, drive to the gym that I'm paying $25 a month, and then do my workout, and then get back in my car and
Mm-hmm.
come back home. And then I know wintertime is about to come up, and I don't drive. And as long as I lived in Chicago, I don't like to drive in the winter. I'm already knowing that I'm not going to get up putting on boots and all of that kind of stuff just to go to the gym when I
Oh,
have a whole basement downstairs that I could take that $25 a month for 12 months comes out to $300. I could take that $300, buy me an elliptical, put it downstairs in the basement with the rest of that exercise equipment that I have and go downstairs. I could save a
yeah.
lot of time because again, the time that I spent getting dressed and going and then
You
coming
could have
back,
did a workout by
that
then.
30 minutes I could have been working out downstairs.
Facts, facts,
Right.
facts.
and so, and
You know,
so,
I'm all on board with what's easiest and what's most cost effective.
right, cost effective, time efficient. And so, and I
Yes.
will get that knocked out. And so that's exactly what I'm about to do. So that is kind of, and then of course, again, the self-care with my food and my tea and my, all of that. And then um look, I was about to say something about sister, but I remembered that you did say, "What do I do for my self care?" It is so hard for me to separate stuff that I'm doing for others for myself because that's
That's the heart
always
of a servant. That's the heart of a
right.
servant.
That's always
Yeah.
been the way, and
You
so
always doing something for somebody else, so it's like you're not an afterthought, but your needs don't come first to
right.
others that you're serving. And so I totally get it and just
And I
salute you
had
for
to
that.
I had to learn how to put myself first. It was a
Right.
learning experience, like seriously for the past year, some years. I had to have therapy in order to learn how to do that
Right.
because it's unhealthy. It really is.
Hmm.
It's unhealthy and it's a trauma response, to be honest. So
Wow. Oh, you can right there. I gotta bring that out. That you now that you said that. When you and by you being a metaphysician and being a coach who deals with the holistic side of healing for again internally dealing with emotions and how your emotions and stress and things like that can affect the physical body. You just said that the lack of self-care is a trauma response. Now I know it's somebody when y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. She first told me, I was like, "What? What you mean? I'm traumatized because I don't do nothing for me." And she was like, "Absolutely. That's how you're responding or you're reacting to, what you're going through." And I didn't understand it. And so, coach, being coach, she had to walk me through it and break it down and took her time because I'm a knucklehead sometimes. I know I can be a little hard headed. when I don't get it, if it's not connecting. But it is. And coach, just briefly, what type of trauma is that? Because a lot of people don't understand that when you neglect self and it seems like you're doing these good deeds and you're so helpful and accommodating and you're serving and you're doing everything for everybody else, and then your cup is empty, right? And you can't even really, you shouldn't be out there pouring into other people because you won't have anything to pour from. What type of trauma is that? Like, can you just briefly explain what that is doing to you and your esteem and your health? Can you just touch on that for a quick minute?
Yes. Well, I can't necessarily say it's a specific, like it's a specific thing when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to that, as far as being a trauma response, because they're just different situations that can cause that type of behavior, right?
Right. Okay.
And so
Right.
so I can give one scenario.
Okay.
One scenario would be, because listen, a lot of the wounds that we have, it stems from childhood, because
Mm,
that was a time where, I mean, we were innocent and vulnerable.
right.
And so the ones who were supposed to protect us were our caregivers, our parents, our grandparents, whoever had that position to care for us, to care, protect, provide, nurture, all of that. It was their job or their duty to make sure that we were taken care of, that we were
Right.
protected, that we were, all of those things. And sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, and some of it wasn't even like consciously done, because they just didn't know. You
Right.
don't know. And then some things you might know, but you don't understand.
Right.
Um, and what I mean by that is, like, if you understood the consequences of your actions, maybe you wouldn't do the things that you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you do understand and you do it anyway, then you just evil. I mean, it ain't no
Thanks.
sugar,
It's
no
no
sugar.
gray in that.
You just, it's like, man, you just, hey. So anyway, um, so our caregivers may have been experiencing some type of frustrations, or whatever else going on, energies going back and forth in the environments that we're in the
Mhm.
homes, and all of that type of stuff. We as we're young, we observe how people interact or relate, right? Relate to
Right.
one another. And everybody everybody has power.
Mm-hmm.
um but when you're unaware that you have power, then, and you may feel, or you feel, or you project, or all of these different things or variables or whatever. Some things can happen where you feel powerless, or that your power was taken away from you in some
Right.
shape, form, or fashion, of whatever. And so, in relationships and relating to one another, um if people don't understand that they're powerful and that they have power, and then use it in a way that's beneficial and not harmful to themselves and to other people,
Mm-hmm.
then, then that's okay. But if they don't, what you find is that people are in this power struggle, trying to take
Mm-hmm.
power from one another, and control, and all of that. And these things are
Wow.
energies going on in the environment that children are open and susceptible to, and can
Wow.
feel.
Wow.
And so, in their observation, what happens is, whatever behavior that they see that's going on, and how people go about to obtain power, um, whoever they see or feel as that powerful one that was able to get their needs met by the way that they handled things or dealt with it, or that power, that's who they tend to model.
Absolutely. Right. That
They'll
makes perfect sense.
they'll tend to model that. Whether it's the look, if it's the victor or the victim,
Mm.
right? The victim can be powerful by playing the victim,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Wow.
That's why
Wow.
you have those people that's like, it seems like they just always the victim.
Because that's their power. They walking
That's
in
their power.
their power of being a victim. Wow.
Being the victim.
Y'all
Woe is
catching
me.
this? Oh my
Woe is
goodness.
me.
So,
Somebody did this. Well, and it's like, but that's how they got attention. That's how, they got their needs met. And so that's their
mm-hmm.
power. And so, but that's a wound. That's a wound. And then that wound
Mm.
is passed with the child sees it. And if that child saw that as, oh, okay, then they'll take that on. So now that child has taken on that wound. Or if it's the opposite, if it's the
Right.
one that, they got to beat everybody, then the victor, so to speak, then they'll take on that behavior. And so we grow up with these things, right? Grow up with these things, grow up with these behaviors. Um, and so as we continue to go on, and I mean, it's so many things that's like, it's like, oh, that's a it's like trauma
Right.
response.
That's a trauma response. Right. And I didn't really understand that. Because when you are maturing or you're going through a process, there's a lot of things that we're trying to work out because we just don't know. Like, it's familiar, we've seen it before, not really sure if it's right or wrong. It may feel good or it may not feel good, but we're just trying to process. And our responses or reactions to it necessarily may not be the right one. But then that's what all we know.
That's all we
And
know.
then that's what we're doing. So we're just mimicking, for lack of a better word, what we've been taught or what we've seen,
What we've
happen, or
observed.
what we've observed. Perfect. Yes, coach. And that's just one of those things, like, you got to really find your place in that, and then how you're responding to that. So this won't be something that now you're passing on into generations because you haven't done the work to really figure out, this is not a healthy part of my character. Like, this should not have been a part of what I'm going through.
Mhm.
But the lesson is you can overcome this, and then you don't now pass this on to
Right.
your kids, and then your kids pass it on their kids, and now you're operating with a victim's mentality, or this is the power that you're walking in, but you're broken and you're damaged. That's your power. Like, who's really trying to agree with that? I mean, I wouldn't. I don't want to walk around as a victim, but then vice versa.
Yeah.
If no one can ever come and tell you something and you just want to win, 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 and be the victor and compete, compete, compete all the time, or combat and argue, because I'll tell you something briefly, real quick. They used to say, "You're so argumentative." And I used to be like, "What you mean?" Well, if y'all know Mama Kai, my mom was a little argumentative. And I started to realize, as I begin get into relationships with people, I'm like, I'm always debating. Really, I was arguing. I wasn't debating. Debating just sounds better for me, so I'm gonna use debate. But I was arguing. I was disagreeing, and I said, "Wow, where is this coming from?" And then when close friends or people who I trusted and care about would call it out, I would be offended. Like, no, I don't argue all the time. My brother, he would be the main one. He's like, "You so argumentative. You gonna argue everything?" And I'd be like, I'm arguing with him about telling me that I'm arguing. I'm like, no, it's not. You wrong. I'm right. I don't know what's going on. And so you don't even know that you have fallen into a type of behavior because it's something that you patterned and you observe and you seen. I thank God for Jesus, thank God for him that my mama got that under control. And when I saw her get under control and I began to learn my own too, I got under control. So now when someone comes to say that, I can really honestly say I used to be. Not today
Right.
though. You know what I'm saying? If you would have hit me with that 5 years ago, oh, you would have had me. But today, I'm not argumentative. You just want your way and you're not getting it because I know what I'm value, I know my worth is. And so now I'm just not taking your negativity. But coach, you're so right in how we respond using that trauma from what we've seen, whether it's our childhood or whether it's, being in relationships, being in the wrong relationships, having the wrong connections. And now that's all coming out. And you wondering, why the heck am I doing this? Why am I acting like this? This ain't even me. And then now you have this whole identity crisis because you like,
Right.
where this come from? Where this come from? Right? And so,
Mhm.
Coach, I want to just segue right into the finances part of it all because we got about 15 minutes left, and I really want you to touch on, again, you've been learning, being with Extreme Faith Global Academy. We've been learning from our master educators. We have a couple of them on here. Thank you, Kiana. I see you. King Nelson, I see you joining us. And Coach, you have really been finding that balance. And as we was talking earlier today, you were sharing with me just like how women mainly and some men, but women mainly, we have a huge nurturing part of our character. It's just something innate in us, and we can misuse that if we don't know how to manage it. And so we'll allow, like you said earlier, for people to pull on us, and we trying to say the word, we're trying to do all these great things, and then we're not making the main thing the main thing. Like we're not doing what we need to do to get the education, to bring in the finances so we can free up time to do and meet the need of the relationships, whether it's husband, children. And I want you to kind of, if you don't mind, going into that a little bit, how you touched on a little bit earlier, how you said the start of your day after you reading your Bible and you're just mentally preparing yourself, you go right into your chart markups, you go right into your finances. So how does that priority with your finances and trading and learn the skill set conducive to free up your time with your relationships and family dynamic? Like how are you managing that? Or can you give us some tips to try? You gonna, how can we do it too?
Yeah. Um, again, like I said, starting out the start of my day, because the day starts in the evening.
Evening,
Is,
right?
you usually, like, of course, when we get off of here, I'm on these charts. you know,
Mm,
I'm on
right.
these charts. I'm mapping out. I'm planning. I'm seeing, something. I have decided that NAS is for me. And it's like, oh, you got to do this, and then and then choose out some currency pairs, and this is that and the other. And I was about to get into that, and then I just talking to different educators and things, and I've been talking to Kiana for the past couple of days, and she's really helped me out with that. And she said, if that's what's been working for you, stick with that. She said, you don't have to
Right.
do all of these different things. If that's what she said, I know many traders that they just trade this one pair, and I'm like,
Mm.
great, because that's just my personality anyway. Like, I'm a person, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Facts.
I am the person that I would eat the same meal every day if I could. I promise you I would. Cause
Coach,
look,
no, no.
I would eat the same. My husband would be all, what you want to eat? And I'm sitting up there like, no, what you want to eat? Because I know what I want to eat. If we, if you choose this place, I already know what they got on that menu. I'm gonna find some fish. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
I'm
right,
gonna get a
right.
sweet potato, and I'm gonna get some broccoli.
You already know it's gonna be the same thing, Coach.
Yeah, it's gonna be something similar of the same thing. We go to the breakfast spot. I'm gonna get some pancakes. I'm gonna get
Right.
the omelet. I'm just that person, and so it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If as long as it's doing me good, I'm gonna do it good. The minute it go left, I'm gonna go right. But 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 so yeah, I'm gonna get on here with Nas, and that's how I start to balance it out. Just,
Mhm.
get that done, get that out the way. This is one of the, man, this is it's a blessing. It
Mhm.
is a blessing because of my family dynamic, right?
Mhm.
Um, many of you know I have a sister, I'm her caregiver, she's my daughter. She just said,
Sister, this is
she,
not the debut. I hear
she
you.
said,
Talking about some,
she
hey,
said, "Hey, how y'all
I
doing?"
can, sister, I cannot do you tonight. I will not do you tonight.
And so, I'm her caregiver. And I mean, I don't know, when she was younger, I was able to work outside of the home. I mean, but even in that, when she was in school and stuff, and when she came home from school, she would get dropped off at my job. and,
Wow.
and she'd be at work with me. And then thankfully, I just lived right down the street from my job. So then when we left, we just walked home.
Mhm.
um, but of course things change, times change, stuff like that. I was able to do that when I was a single parent. But I'm not anymore. And so, been married for almost 20 years and more children and all of that. And so working outside the home wasn't something that, I mean, I tried, but it just did not work out. So I figured, I'm like, I have to do something from home. But I,
Mhm.
I grew up in this industry. I grew up in the, direct sales turn network marketing turn multi-level marketing industry. Um,
Right.
I was the hired kid. My mom was, man, Shackley, Mary Kay, some of them old Amway, like all those old Tupperware. Like, I
Back
grew
to
up
knives and vacuum.
with the home parties and all of that. When I say I was the hired kid, like, really, I was the one that was doing paperwork and setting up the meetings and helping with the food, and when we did the home parties.
Mhm.
Um, and so, I know this industry from, up front and behind the scenes. I started experiencing the industry, myself, when I hopped in, and I didn't want to hop in because, like I said, I grew up in this industry and I
Right.
didn't want nothing to do with it. I'm gonna just be honest. I didn't want nothing to do with it. Although I mean, look, I didn't want nothing to do with it, but I found myself in that space where I had to, because I was at home and all I knew
Right.
was, hey, I mean, again, growing up in this industry, you see a lot of things. There were a lot of successful people. I always saw a lot of successful women who, had their home-based businesses and did what they did and worked from home and had, they were able to, hire nannies and housekeepers and stuff like that,
Right.
because they had the income and they were happy. I felt that energy.
Mhm.
They were happy, they were joyful, they loved what they did. So I saw that, but then I also saw some things that weren't, so great. I saw the, team snatching, and I saw the backstabbing, and I saw I saw how certain things could ruin people. And
Right.
I just wanted more control over my income.
Mhm.
And that's why I didn't want anything to do with this industry. But like I said, I when I found myself in that space, because I was a licensed cosmetologist, I could independently work. That was me having control of my income, right?
Mhm.
I could independently work, and my income just had to do with, the people who wanted to come to me for their services,
Right.
right? It wasn't dependent on if I had to sign people up, or how many products I sold, or any of those type of things. And I wanted it that way. But when I found myself in that space where, I couldn't take on the clientele that I had from my home, um,
Mhm.
and I knew what network marketing could do and provide, then I found myself in that space. And I remember I always start everything off with a prayer. When because I went kicking and screaming trying to letting hair go. I mean, the Holy Spirit told me I have something for you to do and you can't do it behind this chair. And I was like, I don't know what you thought,
Right, no go, no go.
you know. And so next thing you know, I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome,
Mm.
put on steroids, and for 6 weeks. And the doctor was like, if this doesn't work, then we're gonna schedule you for surgery. I'm like,
Sorry to who? I'm out.
you ain't cutting on my hands. And so I literally spoke to my hand and said, we not having surgery. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what you're gonna do, but we have to heal because we not having surgery. And next thing you know, I can't even remember when it happened, but I didn't have that pain anymore in my hand. But that let me see right there, like if something happened to what I make money with, my hands, or what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I prayed and I said, I said, I do not want to work for money. I want money to
Money
work
to
for me. I want to
Amen.
be an investor and a philanthropist. I
Right.
prayed that prayer 20 something odd years ago. And at that point, everything became a conscious wealth journey. I was led to books, I was led to people, I was led to seminars,
Mm.
I was led through this journey and navigation of wealth through wealthy people. I had a mentor who taught me, we would get on the phone every day at 11 o'clock. And the first thing that he taught me about wealth was taxes. That was the first thing.
Mm.
And I was sitting up there like wondering, like, why is he teaching me about this first? I'm thinking he taught me about taxes first.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he asked me what my income goal was. I was like, oh, I need about $100,000 a year. I thought that was doing something. And I did. and and he was like, you need to come up higher than that. And I'm thinking like,
Right.
I don't need. And then
You
he,
asked me how much I needed. I told
yeah, yeah,
you.
how
And he's
much
like,
I
that's not
needed,
enough.
right? And so when he told me what he told me about Texas, he said I still got it somewhere in. I think it's right here. But I wrote the notes down. I swear this was like 2008. I wrote the notes down, and he said he had me write down, low income tax bracket, middle income tax bracket, and the, high or elite, right, income
Mm-hmm.
tax bracket. And he said, you do not want to be anywhere in the middle. He said they're taxed the highest. He
Mm-hmm.
said if you make anything above 45,000, anything below 450,000, you're taxed the highest. He said so you
Wow.
have to jump from where you are to above $450,000 a year, and my mind could not fathom how I was going to do that.
Right. Wow.
I couldn't. I couldn't. But he mentored me and he trained me and everything. And he was, scheduling to pick me up to take me to these different like places to see where people lived and like Barrington Hill, but where Bill Walsh lived. you
Right.
know, Barrington Hills and all of these different things where it's these $1 million homes and all of that. I mean, I thought I used to go house when you go into these different open houses and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing nothing compared to what he stretched my mind. And so um seeing all of that and understanding that was the doorway to what wealth was about, what you had to know, what you had to learn about it, so that when it did come, you knew how to navigate it, you knew where to put certain things, you knew what
Right.
was structures that you had to have set up and vehicles and all of those. And when I say vehicles, I'm not talking about a car, I'm talking about wealth vehicles, all of those things. And so um I will say this, because this goes along with what you're saying about how do I, manage my time to be able to do that and have my relationships and all of that. That because at that particular point, it was so much that was going on. It was so much
Mm-hmm.
going on, within myself, in my relationships, and all of that, to where, I'm trying to do what I need to do to better myself and my family. And, but at the same time, people and things outside of me was crazy, acting haywire,
Right.
whatever, right? And so, it's almost like say when we're trading and you happen to get in the entry that's not such a good entry point, and that
Right.
thing it's in consolidation,
Foundation. Mm-hmm.
and it's going back and forth, and you just like,
What
and
I do? What I do? What I
right,
do?
you end up hopping out because you can't ride that consolidation. But if you got in before that, that consolidation is not affecting you,
Right. Makes
right?
sense.
If you had
Right.
a better entry. And so that's what it was like that was going on. And so I remember us having our appointment, and it was some crazy stuff that happened before that. And I mean, my energy was just it was terrible. My energy was all over the place. And that was the last time that I spoke with them.
Mm.
And not that, there was not that they said, oh, I'm not going to speak to you again or anything like that, but my energy from what was happening outside of me got into me,
Mm.
that disturbed my energy, brought it low to where that person vibrated out of my life
Wow.
that needed to be there,
Wow.
right? I learned a very, very valuable lesson. And so fast forward to now, I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's going on, because I know and I understand my why, and I am
Mm-hmm.
very focused and very intentional. I don't let anything distract me. What attracted me to Adrian, as far as partnering, as being on his team, was this one thing when he said, don't let the people that you're fighting for cause you to lose.
Mm.
And
Wow.
and I remembered that's what happened to me. It's like what I'm attempting to do not only benefits me, but my entire family,
Right. Absolutely.
right? So I can't let the very people that I'm fighting for, that's going to benefit from what I'm doing, distract me, cause me to lose, because if I lose, we lose,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, all the other stuff
It's
I,
irrelevant at that point, like
is
because
irrelevant,
the
right?
priority is the purpose and why are you doing this? Right.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. And so I just resolved from that point, and don't get it twisted. Like, don't think that you will not be tested, especially when you come when you really, what we say, distractions follow intentions,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you really get focused and determined, and you're like, okay, this is it, I'm gonna do this, and this is whatever this is, you will get tested. You will get tested. And the only ones that can really shake you emotionally are those that who you're connected to emotionally,
Right.
those who are on the ship with you.
You're right. You're
Don't
right.
allow it. Don't allow it. We can say that it's anything and everything and everybody else outside of us, but really it's us. The reason
Right.
why I say that is because I don't care. Like, say I'm right here right now doing a coach's corner. I don't care who comes through here and say something to me, or whatever. I need you to do this, or blah 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 blah. And it's like, I, Like, what you see me doing the coach's corner? I mean, you
Right.
know, or whatever, or I'm sitting here trading or whatever that is. No matter what, no matter what anybody else does, I'm the one that have to make the decision to stay focused or get up and do what somebody else want me to do. I'm the one
Right.
that, I mean, barring somebody just grab me by my hair and pull me, you know what I'm saying, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm the one that has to move. I'm the
Right.
one that makes the decision to say, okay, well, what they're talking about is more important than what I'm doing.
Mm.
But if what I'm doing is going to help everybody, then what they're talking about is not more important than what I'm doing right now. It's especially if what they're talking about involves money.
Absolutely.
If somebody wants
Absolutely.
me to get up and do something that's going to cost me money while I'm sitting here making money, guess what I'm not doing?
I'm not getting up. You really can't. You can't be distracted from that because that defeats the purpose of what you're really doing.
Right. Folks got to figure it out. And
Facts.
that's really hard. Oh, I don't want to say it's hard. It's challenging for a woman
Hmm.
because although we're in 2021, almost 22, it seems like we still got these 1950s type of, you know,
That mentality. It's a
yeah.
mentality.
And it's
Like
like,
we
and
got
I'm
to be all, do all, save all, heal all, and we can't be all of that without
cook, clean, slow,
prioritizing.
bake, nurture, and bring home the bacon too. How, Sway? Some gotta give.
100%
Some gotta
facts.
give.
Something got to give, right? And
It's
the fact of the matter, coach, is that something will give because something's
oh
gonna go
yeah,
lacking. It's
right.
gonna happen regardless.
It's going to happen because
Hmm.
what you cannot do, and look, and this is for the women, this is for women, 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 women. Um, sis, take the cape off,
Hmm.
and I won't say fold it up and put it up in the drawer. I'm gonna say burn it,
Mm.
get
Ooh.
rid of it.
Ooh, coach. You know what? You might have to do a part two on that because let me tell you something. That's hard. That's a hard thing. And it just reminds me, and then we gotta get out of here because we really over our time, but I need to let you finish that to get to this part right here. But the thing about it is that's challenging for a lot of women
It
to
is.
do because they have been, and I'll say even we, because I don't have the kid part or the husband part, but everything else that we have been conditioned mentally.
Conditioned. Yep.
You know, we have been programmed to do this. And then when you come and make the statement and say, put the cape up, and it's like, you got to give me some action steps, coach. Like, we don't even know how to begin to do something like that because that's not the easy thing to do. And it just reminds me of the story of the prophet. And then he told him to go dip in the water. He said, if I actually do a hard thing, you know what I'm saying? You be ready. And see, this is the hard thing. It's like, you want me to really stop doing of all these things which a lot of women think this is what we were created to do, and it's just a myth.
And we
We
weren't.
wasn't created to do all these
We
things.
weren't.
And so I'm gonna have to pause you right there because that's gonna be too deep. You know how you like to use the word
Yeah, we're
unpack.
gonna have to do a part two
you
on
you
that
gonna
one.
have to, yeah, this gonna have to be a whole part two because you gonna have to really break that down. And I mean, like, even for me, and I just thank God that he blessed you with me early, and so I've been getting my coaching, training.
Right.
No offense, viewers. So I guess you should go ahead and book coach if you need your personal time. But
Yes.
this is really something that we need help. And not even just help, we need support. And not just support, we need strength, but not just strength, we need the power to take the cape off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole thing. And we don't even know how to start. We don't even know what does that even look like for most women. What you mean take
Mhm.
the cape off? So what, I can't take care of my kids, I can't take care of my husband, I can't work too, I can't pay the bills, I can't balance the car note, I can't. That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't do it all. You have to. do what's
You gonna have to pick
beneficial for
choose
everybody and pick the one.
choose that those couple of things that you're like, okay, if I didn't do this, this would drive me crazy. So this is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do, and the other stuff, I'm not doing it. And I'm gonna leave off with this. And it's gonna be the hardest thing that you ever did in your life because you'll see how you have been so used to doing everything,
Mm-hmm.
putting out the fires. I mean, just doing everything. And when stuff start falling apart, because it will fall apart, you're gonna have to sit there and let it.
Mm. Woo,
You have
coach,
to
don't
let it
even. Don't
because
you can't shock these, you can't shock our
I'm
viewers
saying
like that. I'm
you
like,
have
let
to
it.
let it because then the very because look, while we being Superwoman, Wonder Woman, the Last Girl, all that kind of stuff, at the same time we complaining about why we have to be that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that we feel like there's no help or no support. Well,
Right,
the help or the support can't do it if we're doing it. So stop
right.
doing it so that you
And
can
then
have the
there's
help and support do it.
ooh, ooh. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm about to. I know y'all probably upset, and I am too. But we're gonna have to let Coach do a part two. So this is what I think we should do, Coach. And you let me know if you got the time, you're on board, and you want to get in more depth with this topic because I do feel like it is needed. It's much needed. Matter of fact, it's overdue for this conversation. If y'all want Coach to come back and finish this part two on next Tuesday, the Coach's Corner, y'all throw some fire in the chat. Y'all say something. Y'all drop something. And I know that we got Extreme Family got the 8 o'clock call. I think they're doing the new Wall Street with Megan, Messina, and even Jacob. He's there, so I know we're getting ready to kind of divide our time. And so we don't want you guys to feel like you have to choose because we're common unit. We got to support, the family. But if you want, I see some hearts going up, fire going up. Okay, yeah. So, Coach, if you can, next week on the Coach's Corner live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, can you pick this up with a part two? And we're going to just call it Take Off the Cape, Sis.
Yes, yes. Take the cape off, sis.
Take the cape off, sis.
Listen,
Like,
when you as you're doing that, you're holding up your energy, you're straining your
yeah.
energy. And once you release that energy, oh my gosh, it's gonna show up in your finances. I'm not telling you something that I heard, I'm telling you something that I know because I'm sitting here watching it happen and before my eyes, and I'm like, whoa. I done pulled my energy in where it's supposed to be, and it's showing up in my finances. And I'll show y'all that next week. And I
Mm-hmm.
ain't showing nobody nothing else.
Right. Okay.
You
So,
just
look,
have
I
to
don't
tell
put it in
y'all what
here.
I'm doing.
All right, so I don't put look. This it, y'all heard it. I don't dropped in the chat. We're gonna do Take the Cape Off Sis part two with Coach Hadassah. She's gonna unpack this. So y'all go ahead, start sharing this so people can see the first half of this part one, this video with Coach Hadassah, just giving us a look in. We got Coach, we got bombs and we got sonic booms going off in the chat. I'm just telling. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm like, okay, we gonna have to cut it off. So yes, go ahead, tag a friend, tell a friend, share this part one, so the women and even men, because I feel like men need to be in on this conversation too, so they can
Yes.
see what's happening, so you can have that support, sis. Right when you get ready to take that cape off, because it's gonna be a shock. It's gonna be a
Because I'm
shock. So
telling
what?
you, look, because the man is like, look, listen, woman, I need you to sit down. I need you to do. So yeah,
Mm,
brothers,
mm.
kings, princes.
So y'all come on through, husbands, boyfriends, sons, uncles, cousins, and all y'all come on, because it's gonna be one that we all need to be here to join and hear about. So, Coach, I wanted to say thank you for really just lending your time and just really getting to the depth of your life and what you're doing and how you are helping and serving in this season for women and men and for people who need this inner healing. So this is all on the inside right here. That's gonna result in your outside for you to be fruitful and multiply. You're absolutely welcome, Melinda. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. So This has been the Coach's Corner with the lovely Coach Hadassah. And we have interviewed her for part one. Go ahead, tag friend, tell a friend, share this video. Remember, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel for the Coach's Corner, go ahead and do so. And make sure all of your friends and family do the same. Hit the bell so you can get notified when we come on. So you won't have an excuse saying, I don't know when the Coach's Corner come on. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we help you get to your next level. I'm Coach Cotton. We'll see y'all Tuesday with Take the Cape Off, sis. It's time. Go ahead. We're going to snatch the Band-Aid off. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good day.
Peace.